Hi, I'm Brigham Larson with Brigham Larson Pianos. This piano is an Andrew Kohler in absolutely fantastic condition, particularly for its age. It's approximately 100 years old or so. This is going back to about the World War I era. And so on these pianos, I have, and by these pianos what I'm referring to is 1880, 1890 to 1930. I do lots of these pianos, tons of them. I love them. I have a lot of fun with them. I love their results. I've put tons of them out into the world, and it's something that I just really, really enjoy. Really get a kick out of transforming these pianos. So I really have three kind of categories for these 1890 to 1930 pianos. There's the rebuild, where I'm putting on all new strings, all new hammers, new dampers, new hammer butts, new keys, new bushings, everything new right down the line. Then on the other end of the spectrum, I have refurbished pianos. Both are very thorough in that there's nothing on the piano, in both cases, nothing on the piano that we in the shop don't work on, don't manipulate in some way. Top to bottom, there's nothing that we leave out. The difference is that with the rebuild, everything is new, everything is brand new inside with the cabinetry of a 100-year-old piano. Whereas the refurbished piano, wherever possible, I use the original parts that were there. So, as an example, and that's what this piano is, a refurbished piano. So it's in excellent condition. As an example, hammers. On a rebuild, I'll replace the hammers wholesale, just brand new hammers. Whereas on a lot of the refurbished ones, I'll reshape the hammers. So rather than so that over the years, the hammers will flatten out from hitting the strings again and again and again, and they no longer have that point where they're contacting the string, but it's more of a flat surface that's actually hitting the string, and that's pretty detrimental to the tone. And so what we've done, let's come have a look in here. What we've done on this piano, you can see that these hammers don't have cuts in the strings, but are properly rounded the way they're supposed to be. And then a full cleaning. This piano is immaculately clean, at least as much as it can be cleaned for a 100-year-old piano. We soda blast everything, and so it's just clean, clean, clean. The keys are brand new. We've got a key shop back here, and we do lots and lots of keys. Some weeks we'll do as many as 3 or 4 sets of white keys a week. And so we're just very, very experienced and do excellent work with the notches square, all the sides just perfectly straight, properly filed to the edges of the keys, and the notches all lining up in the sharps where they're supposed to be. And I believe these sharps are also yeah, they are. These sharps are also brand new. Those pedals are not original. Those pedals are brand new as well. Let's have a look at the trap work. Trap work is everything having to do with the pedals. You can see how clean that is, and how it's a lot of there are some new parts in there as well. Okay, this piano turned out really, really well. Not only have we done all of that. Really, that's the preliminary stuff. What the bulk of the maybe number of hours put in on this piano with the keys and the refinishing, reshaping, cleaning, regulation, I would guess somewhere between 80 and possibly as many as 100 man-hours put into this piano. So very, very thorough. This is not just taking a leaf blower and blowing out the dust. This is serious, and it's I've done thousands of these pianos. I've worked on approximately 20,000 pianos in my career, and these old ones are constitute a large chunk of those 20,000 pianos. So a large chunk of that 80, maybe even 100 hours that invested into this piano would be the regulation. So regulation is a very broad term, essentially getting the touch correct. Any piano, every piano, without exception, that hasn't been regulated in the last 5 or 10 years, it's going to need some regulation. And very, very rarely do these pianos get it. This piano got the full deal. Sorry about that. So that's everything from there's about a dozen or so different specs that make the touch exactly what it's supposed to be. So it starts with leveling the keys, and then we move to and before that we've tightened everything, we've lubricated, like I said, reshaped, cleaned, tightened up all the let-off rail, all of the parts. So then we level the keys, we get the let-off correct, which come on back in here. I'll show you. The let-off is the distance that hammer gets close to the string, gets to within 1/8 of an inch of the string, and then it pulls away. You should be able to go to any string, and this is something that anyone can do. You don't have to be an expert piano technician to know how to do this. If you're in the piano market, which if you're watching this video, I would assume that you are, any piano that you're comparing any of my pianos against, do this. Go up and look and see, does that hammer get to within 1/8 of an inch of the string and then pull away? And that hammer, or the key rather, should travel a little bit more after let off. And what that's called, it's the essential ingredient in proper touch. That key traveling a little bit more after let off, it's called aftertouch. And then you've got things like checking, and then you've got damper timing, and you've got dip, and all of these other things that all have to be just so to have the touch exactly as it is. So again, if you're comparing any of my pianos that I've refurbished or even rebuilt against something that you find on KSL or Craigslist or something, try it, put it to the test, and I'm certain that you know, I think people, they say, oh, we've taken great care of the piano, we've tuned it every year or even every 6 months sometimes, but I think the intention is correct, but the problem is pianos need so much more than that, and tuning it every year does not constitute proper maintenance. These pianos, they all need this. They all need to be refurbished, particularly if it's pre 1970, 1960, 1950. Now we're really needing some refurbishing. Pre-1930, for sure, no question. I've never seen a pre-1930 piano that was not in need of really everything that I'm talking about. So, but I'm very, very confident that everything, without exception, I've literally racked my brain, well, not literally, I have figuratively racked my brain trying to figure out what else can I possibly add to my checklist to make my pianos just a little bit better, And there was a time where my wife thought, you know, enough. You do too much. This is overboard. This is over the top, and she's relented and allowed me to indulge in what I love to do. And I think also she has seen the value in going to this extreme extent of crossing every last T and dotting every last I. Okay, now let's listen to it. a really nice tone, and a great touch that I would frankly expect from a much newer piano, and in some cases this piano feels as good as a brand new piano. So come try it for yourself, see what you think. And if you're out of state, by the way, if you don't have the opportunity to come in and try it for yourself, you can be absolutely confident that everything that I've represented in this video is correct. And if you would like to purchase this piano, I have sold many pianos to people out of state, and to the best of my knowledge, I don't think that I've had anyone disappointed with what they've received when it's a sight unseen kind of a purchase. So I'd be confident in doing that sight unseen. And furthermore, shipping a piano out of state is not as prohibitively expensive as you might suspect. But if you are in state, 1497 South State, if you'd like to try it for yourself, frankly, you can buy it sight unseen if you're 2 miles from here, and I'm sure you'd be happy with it. But come in 1497 South State in Orem, where you can call my cell and we can talk about this piano or the many other pianos that I have currently ready to go, or I don't know, about a dozen projects that are currently underway in the shop. That we've got new pianos coming out of the shop all the time. So come in and check it out. Thanks for watching.